So in our last lesson, you were introduced to some angle facts. We're going to just continue with using those angle facts and expand it just a little bit. There's a couple of new pieces of information, new terminology that you need to be aware of. So you already met the terminology that uses the right angle term to describe an angle that is 90 degrees. This new term here, complementary, is used when we are describing two angles that fit together to make a 90-degree angle. So we say they're said to be complementary. So here you can see the X angle and the 30 degrees have been fitted together to make your 90-degree angle. So your X and 30 degrees are complementary. To work out the size of X, because you know they need to add together to make 90 degrees, all you're basically doing is doing 90, take away the 30, and that gives you your missing angle of 60. That tells you what your X is, and we just say that 30 degrees and 60 degrees are the complement of each other, or they're complementary angles. So it's just a big fancy word that means they add up to 90 degrees, but you're still doing the same sort of procedure to work out any missing angles. If you can see two angles or more have been fitted together to make a square, a right angle like this, then you know they need to add to make 90 degrees. The second angle fact that we looked at was the angle for a straight angle, or the angles that fit together to make a straight line. When they fit together to make a straight angle or a straight line in this way, we know that they need to add up to 180. So when two angles add to make 180, they are said to be supplementary angles. So again, there's a new word for you, but the calculations that you're doing to work out any missing angles in this way is just about doing 180, take away the one that you already know, which in this case is the 70, that gets you your 110. So your 110 and 70 are the supplement of each other, or if you're asked to find, so for example, if we said find the supplement of 50 degrees, then you do 180, take away 50, would be 130. So 50 degrees and 130 degrees are supplementary angles because they add together to make 180 degrees. So it's just a big fancy word that means they fit together to make a straight angle. The other two angle facts that you met the one that says angles around a point must total to 360 degrees. That can be any number of angles, but if they all fit together to create a complete turn or a complete circle, then they have to add together to make 360. So here you've got an angle of 120, you've got your little square that means 90, you've got your 65, and you've got this little circle angle that you're trying to work out the size of. So if you add up your 120, your 90 and your 65, you will see that you get to 275 degrees. If you then take that away from your 360, then you'll find your missing angle that you're looking for. So you're going to get the circle angle needs to be equal to 85 degrees so that it can all add together. So our little circle angle, right, is equal to 85 degrees. The last angle fact that we looked at was what happens when you've got two straight lines crossing over each other. Now, because you get supplementary angles here, because you get ones that add together to make 180 going in each of the directions, what we discover is that the ones directly across from each other, right, that's called vertically opposite, they go in pairs and they will be in fact equal to each other. So in this diagram here, we've only got one size of angle, but what we're able to immediately write down is that angle B will be equal to 113 degrees. To work out the missing angle, if you think about what we know, right, about the straight line, so if we sort of covered up this bit of the diagram and just said we will ignore, right, that part of the diagram, just fill it in so you can see it doesn't affect the size of the angle that we're looking at. So these two here are still fitting together to make 180. So you know that A plus 113 must be equal to 180 because it's a straight angle. So once you do 180, take away the 113, you would have your 67, and that will tell you that angle A needs to be 67 degrees. And of course, once you've worked out that angle A is 67 degrees, then we get the same on the other side with the other pair. If you covered up that bit, these two here are still multiplying, still adding together to make 180 as well. So angle C will also be 67 degrees. They go in pairs. So that's how we say about vertically opposite angle. So make sure you look at your own work and you can make any notes on anything we've just gone through on this short video.